And welcome back to the In the Turnbuckle podcast. It is NWA Powerr review, and amazingly, after collecting the award for winning the worst dressed people in the
Yeah,
world,
I heard that. We need to talk about that.
fresh. I would say fresh, but not
No,
quite
definitely
fresh.
not fresh.
Not quite
Well, I've
fresh.
had a shower and a bath. Like, do you know, I am fresh, but I am not feeling fresh.
Exactly that from her Inside the Ropes tour, straight from the tour onto the channel. It is, of course, the wonderful Miss Fiona Lochran. Hello, Fee.
Hello.
It's
I
a
am so tired.
Yes, 3 days with Bret Hart, ladies and gentlemen, and Fiona probably touched down earlier this morning in Glasgow Airport, I would assume.
The earliest flight ever. Why?
A night flight, as you guys in the States may call it. But before we get to what was a busy wrestling show on NWA Power this week, some news not long has just broken and an incredible get for the NWA coming up at probably one of the most apt shows you could debut this wrestler at. It
Mm.
is, of course, Shotzi, and she's going to be debuting on the NWA at Samhain Free, but that is a huge name and a huge get for the NWA.
That's exciting. I had the pleasure of watching Shotzi at Progress a couple of months ago down in Manchester. So be interesting to see her and Matt Cardona in the building again together.
Ooh, I didn't think of that. I didn't think of that.
I
Ooh.
know that they have had their post broken arm match. You never know, shit might go down again. We'll see.
It is the NWA, of course, in which anything can and generally does
Hmm.
happen. But that a tremendous get for the end. I'm really excited to see it. I know we're not going to probably see it till Christmas, but it's going to be
That's so depressing.
yeah, it's depressing to think about that. Christmas as well as not seeing it till Christmas. But anyway, look, there as I said, it was match heavy this week. Uh,
Finally, after us bitching and moaning about it the last couple of weeks.
we haven't liked the 2 week ones, but we've now got a four match card
Yeah.
to get through, plus the return to the NWA of the Pope.
Hmm.
Get to in a second. But NWA started off with the prettiest prima donna. That is, of course,
BD.
baby Kylie Page. Now, I was a bit confused at the start of this because it come up that she was facing Gabby
Gabby
Forza,
Forza, yeah.
but the commentators were calling her Nomi.
And it was Nomi on her trunks or on her bottoms, I should say. I don't know, are they called trunks for girls? I can't remember, but yeah, it was Nomi, but it said Gabby Forza, and I
Mm.
haven't even had the awakeness enough to double check it on Google.
No, it was. I don't know. I haven't checked it on socials myself. I should have done. But nevertheless, I mean, as debuts go, that was a pretty impressive debut for
It
Nomi
was,
with
it
Glory.
was. What was with the party hat though?
That I don't know. We may have to get her on to ask her that question. It certainly wasn't her birthday. Kylie wasn't playing games. She
No, but
wasn't in the
Nomi's a
mood.
powerhouse, man.
Oh no, she was literally trying to literally throw her around the ring, poor
Yeah,
Kylie.
absolute powerhouse.
Which is interesting. I just wondered watching this match, and obviously we know there's something still brewing with Kenzie and Kylie and Hunter and that. And I was just wondering if this match is the setup for Kylie to perhaps maybe a single run, which we haven't really seen that. It's always been it's Kylie and Ella, Kenzie and Kylie. We've
Hmm.
never really seen Kylie go it alone, so to speak, on NWA. And I'm just wondering if this may be the start.
You never know. Could be. Be interesting to see. I would like to see her go against her sister.
Ah, that's got to happen.
It
It
will at
could
some point. It's
it could happen at
inevitable. It's
Samhain,
just a
couldn't it?
matter of
I mean,
when.
yeah, it could happen at Samhain, depending on what happens at 77, which a few challenges were laid down for 77 during this one. But this, I thought was, I mean, again, great debut for Nomi. I hope it's not the last we see of her.
Mm.
The match itself was really, really good because you never know what to expect, do you, with debuts? That's the thing. Is the chemistry going to be there? Are they going to be a good match for each other and everything like
Is
that?
it just going to be a squash match? Is it?
I just couldn't envisage this match being a squash match, even though it's Kylie Page, and just because of the general weight difference. That's not saying that Naomi was a big person, but in terms of she's a power lifter.
But then even Billy mentioned it on comms as well. Like she's a power lifter. They reckon she's probably about 220 pounds.
Mm.
She's a strong, strong human being.
She really, and she was using that to effect. Although there is a lot of strong things about Kylie Page, including her cake, if you know what I mean, because she used that cake to effect. I think they even called it the cake attack. I think during this.
Oh no, did they? I didn't even
They
notice that.
did. They did. I think it was Garley or it must have been Dills. One of the two called it the cake attack during near enough the
It's
end when
quite funny
she
actually.
basically used her backside, shall we say, and they called it the cake attack in this. I tell you what, though, didn't know me hit a big Vader bomb near the
It
end
was
of this.
glorious.
I mean, that was I thought that was the end. I thought she was going to pick up a surprise victory, and
I did as well. I did as well. But obviously we
I
were
did notice
different.
though.
We've seen it. So
Yeah, but I did notice though it was the Page sister ref, as we like to call her. That was.
I know I still don't know her name. That's terrible.
I
But when
told
she
her.
raised Kylie's hand, I was like, shit, you could be twins almost.
I told you her name.
Did you?
Yes, and I forgot it now.
Ah!
It was a couple of weeks ago on the show where I told you her name. I can't remember it. I tell you what I'll do. Whilst we get to the end of this match, I will look at the NWA roster because
Paper,
she was
that's
on the roster.
terrible. I've probably written it down. I'm really sorry. I'm not quite with it right now. I'm going
Yeah,
to be
you
perfectly
get a
honest with
pass.
you.
It's shocking for me, but you get a pass because you very busy. But the end of this, I actually also like the end because obviously Nomi was going for a power bomb at the end of this, and it was counted into the code Kylie, and then that brutal hesitation drop kick. She does have some of the most dangerous feet in the NWA.
She
Maybe her and
does.
Markova together,
Yeah.
and picked up the victory for Kylie Page. I thought she was going to win, but it was that type of competitiveness in the match that it could have gone either way, and you wouldn't have been surprised.
You just said something there, and I just had a thought. Like you mentioned Markova.
Mhm.
Imagine Kylie and Markova as a tag team.
The feet that kill.
There's people out there that would like that.
Yeah, that's probably a chargeable thing somewhere, isn't it? Ashley Stout is the girl's name.
Okay, sorry, Ashley, my bad.
Sorry, Ashley, or Ashley Page,
Yeah,
as
that's
they call it.
probably what I'll end up calling her.
Yeah,
That's
we
really
will.
not cool though. Have to use her proper name.
But an incredible way to start off the show. And I did like the fact we didn't get too many breaks and
Hmm.
whatnot during this. And at least when we did get it, it was kind of setting things up. We're getting used to it on NWA where they're
Yeah,
setting things up. And this was a setup because it was Colby Carino, wasn't it? It was just after that. He was saying, look, it wasn't my week last week, and he was bound to get, he wants to get another title shot and eventually, but he's got a problem with somebody. And we've all got a
don't we
problem.
all?
Have a problem with the most punchable face in pro wrestling. Punchable face in, trying to sort of narrow it down with letters. Carson Drake. And he's going to make Carson Drake humble because Carson Drake's always been doing his bitching recently.
Hmm.
Can't really,
Can't argue, can
yeah, I
you?
was going to say you can't really argue with that, can you? That's the issue. But if we're going to see Colby and Carson, on the other hand, I'm all for that.
I'm down for that.
Now, just bear in mind, everyone, this was prior to Colby's injury, so we are going to get to see Carson and Colby at some point in Power. This obviously the injury happened weeks after, I believe. So good news is we get to see Colby
Was it
Corey.
before? Was it before or after 77?
Ooh, that's a good question. I can't remember.
I'd need to double check
Ooh,
that. I'm just
yeah,
curious.
yeah,
Another one to look at later.
yeah. Look at that one later. Then we get to see the Tampa store of Bit Crush.
Hmm.
Look what a franchise they've got out there,
They
huh?
do. Busy, busy.
He seems a busy chap though behind the counter. He's at one place and he's at the other. Yeah,
Yeah,
quite.
between yeah, and the bar staff from one of the old bars as well seem to be hovering about.
But also Misery and Lev were in there initially,
Where?
trying to smash a console up.
I'm really sorry, by the way. I'm just going to tell you this right now. My foot's gone into cramp if you see me making weird faces.
Well, there
Random.
you go. That's another chargeable option on this channel for you patrons out there that want to, tip the
I've
hip.
got cramp in my toes.
Yeah, has
Keep
champ.
talking.
Yeah, that's a chargeable option on the hitting the turnbuckle. You can see that.
Foot
Yeah,
picks for sale.
yeah, yeah, we'll happily take your money for that. But while you're sorting out your crap, they can't. They were trying to smash consoles, to which the guy, and then Mondo comes in asking for a gym.
It's
Uh,
quite aggressive in this segment.
when's Mondo not aggressive? He's just like Mr. Aggressive.
I know, but the poor shop guy, like, I think I'd be a bit scared of him.
Then he
To be
said
honest,
that,
if he came in, he's quite intimidating.
yeah, he can be. And then Mondo was like, "Do you remember who I am?" And the guy goes, "Yeah, you're Jim." So I thought it was stupid but funny.
Really the wrong thing to say to him, mind you, but
And then the guy from Conflict Resolution comes back. And do you know who he reminds me of?
who?
Do you remember the Ascension tag team? You had
Vaguely.
the big guy, and then you had the other guy, Vic. But if you shaved his hair,
Oh, yeah,
because
okay.
obviously Vic had used to have long black hair, didn't he? That was the second, and yeah.
Yeah.
So he reminds me of. Anyway, nevertheless, Mondo didn't find the gym.
Yeah, but it was funny because he didn't call him Mike Mondo, he called him Mikey, remember? And I was like, I
Yes.
popped for
Yeah, he called
that.
him
Given his
Mikey.
history and his past,
Oh.
his previous incarnation, I did pop for the Mikey bit.
For those of you that don't know, Mikey was Mike Mondo's name when he was in the Spirit Squad in the WWE when he was a cheerleader. Yes. We've had him on the show, actually. You can look it below in the playlist, Mike Mondo. He was a great person to speak to. I know a good friend of mine has got him in a couple of weeks as well, so that's a great one for him. Yeah, Mondo was great. That segment was great as well. And then we get another. This was kind of like a territory heavy part now because we're getting to see. Uh, well, this necessarily wasn't part of the territory because he was part of the dungeon, but most of the matches this week had someone from the territories.
And they did actually point that out. Billy was quite good at explaining,
Yeah,
particularly in the following match after this one, about saying that people are wanting to get into the NWA and that the
yeah,
best opportunity that they get is through the territory system to come and make a name for themselves. So
yeah. We've interviewed quite a few of those people that have
yeah,
made the
we
names
have,
in
we have.
WWE. I was going to say in the WWE, in the NWA territory system. But this was Midas Black, the ringmaster, as he was called. Loved his little track he come down to, but that was quite a catchy
Yeah,
theme. He was a trainer of the dungeon with TJ and Natty Neidhart.
Natty, yeah.
We still do, we that is not going to be airing from what I hear. And I also actually someone actually made a good point to me the other day. When you see the highlights of what people, and sorry to go on to the Natty Kenzie match, which we're not going to be seeing, when you actually watch the highlights of what people put on that on YouTube, there is no NWA cameraman. There is people
Ah,
taking.
right, okay.
So it looks as though that would have been a specialist. I don't know why the NWA.
You
Maybe they
had
thought
to
it would
be
have been.
there basically.
Yeah, maybe it was one. Although they announced it, maybe it's like WWE just said, "Well, you're not allowed to wear it." So it
We
turned.
suspected it might have been contractual issues
Yeah,
though.
yeah, exactly that. At least it's not the NWA's fault as such. It's more powers that be elsewhere. But yeah, if you look around the ring, there's people filming it, but they're not NWA camera people. So that's
Okay.
maybe why. But anyway, going back to someone else with a catchy theme, but again, it's
The most
him.
punchable face in wrestling.
Yeah, it's him, the most punchable face in wrestling, Carson Drake. Oh, the shuffle now has gone 3D.
Don't
Yes.
don't get me started.
We now get three Carsons doing the
Yeah,
Carson
because we need
shuffle.
three Carsons.
We absolutely need three castles. I did. No, you popped at the one of the other things earlier on. Mikey, I popped at the shuffle. I thought that was outrageous. The 3D shuffle anyway. That was outrageous. But my goodness me, did he take a right hand in this? We're talking about him having the most punchable face. He copped one in the face in
He
this.
did. He did. Midas brought it to him. It was good.
I like Midas. There's something about him, you always
Yeah.
say about,
I'd like to see a little bit more.
yeah, it's the same with, I mean, to be honest, it was the same with most of them. We're going to get to the chap, the funny little fucker later, that took on Silas. But, oh, the other thing I forgot to mention this was Kylie was like being cheered by the fans.
Mm,
There was a lot of that. And the Tampa fans were great, by the way.
yeah, crowd were good in this.
Yeah, going back, I say I really did like Midas Black. I'm hoping, I know that a dungeon, maybe the dungeon could become a territory.
You never know. You
Hmm,
never know.
be something that happens. There's a lot of great talent down there. I mean, and
There is, and they do like I know one of my boys from over here went over fairly recently and spent some
yeah,
time training out there as well, which is
I
cool.
mean,
So
you look at the trainers, it's not exactly
why would you
bad,
not
are
want
they?
to go train there?
Oh, it would be incredible. I'd love to go and do it like a cover it for the hit in the turnbuckle or something. Just be there and see what they do and stuff like that. If I ever get to Tampa, maybe I'll tap up TJ.
Tampa's worth a visit.
Oh, I'd love to go. It's got the power station there as well, so that'd be somewhere I'd like to
And it's
hit.
got Busch Gardens,
Yeah.
roller coasters. Yeah.
Yes,
Anyway,
and
that's a whole different podcast.
there is a whole different podcast, but there's a slight issue with me and roller coasters. I'm not medically clear to go on them.
I forgot about that. Sorry. My
Well,
bad.
to be fair, if I go on aeroplanes, surely I can go on roller coasters now, right?
I'm not sure. I don't think you quite still have. Yeah. Let's not open that can.
Bollocks. Anyway, go back to this match, and eventually, I now know Carson's finishes. We have the stock market crash, which is the stroke, as Jeff Jarrett used to call it, I believe, and we then have the capital gains tax submission.
Of
Yeah,
course we do.
of course.
But
Which
before we get to the finish, I'd just like to
right?
see the little spot that Midas did through the ropes
Yes,
and the drop kick on Carson
yeah,
was class. I was like,
yes.
I kind of went, oh, that's something new.
Yeah, it was. And it was not, again, these were what's the good things about seeing these new people as well, because they bring out things, new moves or a sequence in a match and something like that.
Something a bit different, a bit unique.
Yeah, it was. And this is what's good about the NWA because we get to see that quite often. I know these were the shows in between the Crockett Cup and 77, so you're going to get a lot of like challenges laid out, which we'll get to. And these are probably, I don't like to use the words like spot fillers to want of a better
Hmm.
phrase in match wise anyway. There's a couple of matches on there that will be obviously slightly different, but they were kind of spot fillers. But it's great to see these names because,
Yeah.
hopefully we get to see them more in the NWA. But unfortunately, Midas Black did tap out 2Z capital gains tax from Carson Drake, and he gets up the victory. And then he challenges Colby Carino to the match at NWA 77. He did
Kind of
say,
shits on him a little bit, to be fair.
well, he did say that his father was just a deathmatch merchant and that he sucks, and so does him,
And that you're just a junior.
and he's just a junior, and that quite not very nice from Carson Drake, really. But it was what happened after that that was interesting.
Yeah.
So we cut to an NWA break, but it wasn't a break because it was Carson Drake backstage. And I did wonder because when you look at the Roku app and you go to play the show, it did have Aaron and Carson together. And it
Hmm.
looked like one of those ones that aired when Aaron was facing Latimer. They was doing a lot of
Right.
those promos, wasn't it? So I thought it was that. But it wasn't.
Mm-mm.
And Aaron turned around and said, there's been lots of great wasted talent in wrestling, and you could be one of them if you don't follow my guidance. Get some communication skills, and basically Carson was not interested. But then Aaron said, this
Dropped
service,
a banger on him.
it dropped if this service will be free until you sign your first $1 million contract.
I'm not being funny. I don't think NWA are able to do $1 million contracts, so
Well, there is a good point. Now you make a good point there, and they may not be able to do $1 million contract. So, which means Aaron would be technically giving his services away for free until Carson Drake potentially leaves the NWA. But nevertheless, it was an offer there that perhaps Carson can't refuse.
certainly piqued his interest looking at him. He was kind of like,
Hmm.
okay,
I don't, and then this is no disrespect to Aaron, and hopefully if he watches this, he doesn't bite me on the arse, but he doesn't need Aaron, in my opinion.
does he not? He's not got gold.
He, not in the NWA at the minute. Everywhere else he does. The territories he
Yeah, but
does.
for how long? He's lost one.
He's got that. We don't forget we've got the Carson Cup coming up at Exodus, and his
Don't
team are the
get me
Slime
started on
Balls.
that.
And we've got the Slime Balls in that as well. That's his pick. So we'll be looking forward to reviewing that, by the way. That will be on the NWA YouTube. So we'll be getting that reviewed and watched. And we've got some few more stars from Exodus will be coming on. Gannon Jones will be coming with to you this week. No, next week. Sorry. So you get to see that next week. But yeah, we'll see. But I don't think he needs it. That's my view.
Okay.
Aaron, I apologize for that if that cost you anything, but I don't think.
I just like it on record. I did not say that.
Yes, Fiona didn't say that. I did. Now we get to a night. TV's most attractive next on this list against Clara Carter. Jesus, that's a tongue twister, isn't it? And Serena Ville, who we're going to be seeing, I think, at Exodus
Hmm.
coming up. She's going to be there as well.
Tag team titles on the line on this one.
Yes, and no neck brace on Sam Starr.
I know, my God.
She finally been medically cleared, or
Who
what?
knows?
Clara was biting, or see, one of them was biting one of the members of TVMA,
Allegedly.
allegedly. That was actually, she was Valentina, who was the one being bitten, because when Tiffany got in, she weren't messing around in this. I think she wasn't getting paid by the hour. She was, you know, well, anyway.
TVMA look brilliant together though. I love their kind of matching or coordinating, not matching, coordinating ring gear. The two of them look
Yeah,
dynamite.
yeah, they did. What, TVMA? That's what
Absolutely.
TV's most
I would
attractive.
expect nothing less from them.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't either, to be fair. And Tiffany, I mean, they're both these. It was quite a weird one to pair together. We didn't expect them to win the titles when they did. But they're growing on me as a team. I'm really liking it, these
Yeah, me too.
TVMA. And it was kind of something that we thought they needed in a division because we said that the women's tag division was lacking a little bit in the
Hmm.
NWA. And I know it's kind of taking Tiffany away because she is a singles champion as well. But when you put her with
Still
somebody
got that TV championship though. That's it.
that got that TV money, that's for sure, as well as the TV championship. But when you take her away from that, you have to make sure that it works with that person, and it
Yeah.
absolutely does with Valentina. I think that the partnership is great. But again, competitive tag match. It weren't a squash at all by any stretch of
Mm-mm.
the imagination. And again, it was good to see these two, Clara Carter and Serena Vale, very good.
Yeah. And I clocked something on comms. Was it Clara that they said they'd seen before in NWA? I don't remember seeing her.
I'm not.
One of them. I don't know if it was Clara or Serena or Serena, sorry.
Serena we've seen before, I'm sure.
I
Clara.
knew one of them, but I couldn't remember when. So
Hmm, I can't remember either. But it was great tag team continuity that got the job done in this because it was a blind tag.
blind tag, yeah. So
Led to the rear naked choke,
a
which
little bit of ref distraction during this one as well.
slightly we get TBMA can get away with that though, can't they? Get away with a lot, but
You
no.
enabler.
But I tell you what, though, they kept saying about how one of them was a ballet champion as well. That was the other.
Like, I'm intrigued. I was like, what? A ballet champion? What
Deals,
is
it's
that?
deals.
Like the most number of pirouettes in a minute? Or
Don't know, but I tell you, he's got a way of words though, hasn't he? Deals. I can't remember. Great Moses and a couple of other ones that he comes out with during the show. Is
he just makes me laugh. I love him on comms.
He's great. And it was sorry, it was the usual comms. I forgot to say it was Danny, Joe, and Billy on comms. But yeah, to tap out from the rear naked choke and TBMA retain those tag championships.
They do indeed. I love those belts. I love the turquoise.
They're very nice. They are very nice belts indeed. But talking of teams and maybe a team that's no longer a team brings us to Daisy Kill, who has
Mm.
sent Talos away after their Crockett Cup defeat.
Yeah,
Um,
interesting. And we don't really know what's going on there.
he
But
got
this
sent to
promo made me
Japan.
laugh. I don't know what's receding more, your hairline or your jawline. I
Yes.
was like, oh, that's savage. I love it.
Well, yes, that was to Brian Idol, by the way, who Daisy is facing next week. I think Brian's putting a title on the line
Hmm.
on that one. But yes, and for those of you that don't know, he sent him to Japan. That's where Talos had gone because we interviewed him on his way back in Japan when he got back.
We did indeed.
Japan. So yes, it was still a great interview. He's like awkwardly funny. I call that.
Daisy?
Yes.
Yeah. He's grown on me. I wasn't sure of him originally, but he's grown on me.
Oh, I know, and so does he, because he dropped the bombshell on during our podcast with him that we didn't wasn't quite feeling him at that particular point,
Yeah.
which was like, oh shit, people watch this.
Ah!
But be interesting to see what happens next week with him and Idol Daisy in singles action.
I'm
So
actually looking forward to that.
it should be a good one, actually. I'm looking forward to that because you don't, again, when you see, we always say this sometimes when we see tag teams and then we get to see them singly. Wow, they're actually, we say that about the Southern Six quite a bit because they alternate, obviously, when they're a team, you'll see they've got the Freebird rule. And it's so great to see, like, when Alex Taylor wrestles, when Kerry Morton wrestles on his own, and we're going to get to Thrill Billy very, very shortly when he wrestles. It's really good to see him singly because you sometimes forget how good they actually are as
Yeah.
a single.
Yeah,
And
you don't get to see the full arsenal as a tag.
no, you don't. But before we get to Silas, we come to Latimer next.
We do.
This may be a bit controversial. I just felt this promo was awkward. I don't know. I don't know why. It just come
All
across.
I'm going to say about this promo is all the love we shout out for home in Glasgow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was I don't know. It just felt weird. I don't know. Maybe it might have just been. Anyway, it was no, he's basically said he's going to kick people's ass and he's looking for the next guy to basically step up
Hmm.
for the world championship. Well, we know who that guy is because we'll get
We
to
do
it
now. Yeah.
very, very shortly. But well, it's time for that funny little fucker, funny looking fucker to come out on
I
Power.
can't believe you're still
Christiano.
calling him that. I don't even
Christiano.
think he's that bizarre looking.
Well, he'd look bizarre at Exodus. He didn't look so bizarre today. Well, not today. Power this week. It was Cristiano Argento, and he was going against Silas, who was getting cheered by
Yeah,
Tam.
it's funny that, isn't it?
What's in their water over there? Honestly, to be cheering
Moonshine.
moonshine. Yeah, it's got to be something like that. But I tell you what about Argento, and I'm not going to call him the funny looking fucker. He is crisp in that ring. I mean, the more
Yes,
he
he
hits,
is.
the
I don't think he's a particularly small human being, but he didn't look huge beside Silas, did he?
not many people do look big.
This is very, very true. He is the biggest man that ever lived.
Yes, he did. But the way that Argento moves and the moves that he hits, like I said, they're crisp. I mean, he hit some really crisp moves in this match as well. And there was a slap in this that would have graced Power Slap for those of you that watch it.
But it was the start, though, for me. And
Mhm.
he was like trying to go on the offensive against Thrillbilly, and Thrillbilly's just standing there going, what are you doing? Like, didn't flinch, didn't move, didn't really acknowledge any of it. And I was like, okay, this is how it's going to go.
He pretty much did for the majority of
Yeah.
this as well. But I tell you, there was that second rope fall away slam. That was a really good bit of action. And the finish, I loved the finish on this because everyone that knows, well, the Thrill Ride is a version of the Black Hole Slam or the Boss Man Slam, even really, if you go back
Hmm.
further. And he caught Cristiano in mid-air into the Thrill Ride. I thought that was absolutely sensational. I love that.
There was no way he was coming out of that.
No, there wasn't
None
no way he was coming
whatsoever.
out of it. No, no, there was no way whatsoever that he was coming out of that move. It was a great way to finish, but then lays down the challenge to the peeled potato that he called.
I got a question though.
Mhm.
Can Silas talk or does he just always shout?
Well, he was shouting a lot during this one. That's for
Yeah,
sure.
but he's always shouting in his promos. I'm like, take it down a notch. I know you're excited. Take it down a little notch.
He brought out the rest of the Southern Six, and
Yeah.
Carl Davis was very cautious, of course.
Hell's a brave human being for being in the ring with the three of them. We know
Yeah,
the history there.
yeah, especially after everything that happened with him and Idol and whatever else. But he did call Latimer the peeled potato and challenged him to a match at NWA 77.
I can't wait to see that.
That's going to be big meaty men slapping meat, is what that is going to be, which is your favorite of match. Now, and I believe I've got this right, to the Coal Breath Isles, I believe.
I was
This,
like, what the hell is this? And I'm still kind of like, what the hell is this?
no, I changed mine. Mine was like, what the fuck is going on during this? So it's a will reading. We don't know
Who's
who's
dead?
died.
We don't know.
We don't know who's died, but it consisted of Brian Idle, Tommy Henry, Tyler Franks, Mark Over, Hunter Drake, and Kenzie Page. There was no AJ. I was going to say AJ Francis. There was no.
No
there
AJ Kazana.
was no AJ Kazana. There was no Jim Mitchell.
There was
There
no
was no
Kylie
Alex.
Page.
No Kylie, surprisingly, and no
Yeah.
Alex Misery, who are all now disqualified from the next round.
Which is fair enough. If you don't turn up for the reading of the will or whatever, then but
Which consists of stuff with that's got eight figures attached, so millions basically.
maybe it's like 8 wrestling figures and they get one each.
Who's dead?
I don't know. They didn't
And then what's
tell
the
us.
connection?
Do you know what would it be? What would be really funny though? See if we go back to like the NWA of old, where we never hear about it again.
Well,
Be like, we've done this segment, and then it just disappears into the abyss.
well, we saw that with Only Slams and Cookie McCarson. That
Hmm.
lasted a cup of coffee, and then that had gone. So
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't
But
know.
yeah, I want to know who's dead.
I want to know who's dead and what the whole point of this is.
Yeah, a bit random, but
Hmm,
but kind of left field.
just a tad, just a tad. Well, we'll find out more next week.
We will.
Put it that way. And it wasn't the end of TV's most attractive, or one half of it. I don't know. Is she TV or is she MA? That's we're gonna have to ask that. I suppose Tiff.
That's yeah. I'm not going to ask that question.
Anyway, pretty much not a lot. She was just saying about how she was a double champion in a lot of ways. And
Looks
then
good.
she
The belts.
looks good, both the belts, and it was get it, got it, bueno, and that was done.
I
Um,
like the wee chink of the metal on the belts.
yes, that was good. Now, next was a great, great, great time for the NWA. Great time for I used to love this guy in WWE as Elijah Black. Da Pope addresses his congregation. Congregation is a congregation, isn't it? Yeah, that's the
Congregation.
one.
Yeah, it's been a long
Um,
time since we've seen him in an NWA ring.
it is. He's an inspirator. He's an operator, a rejuvenator. I can't remember what he wasn't though, because he did say there was something that he was.
Procrastinator? I know
Something.
Matt's called him a procrastinator though.
Well, I was going to get to that. Yeah, he's back and he wants gold. That brought out Mims of all people. I do like his music though, Mims.
Mm,
I like the music of Mims. I tell you, I want to know who sings just outside. I want to know who sings Silas's theme.
I don't know.
Sounds like something from the 80s, like an old 80s
80s
track.
hair metal band or something.
Maybe. Anyway, Mims interrupts. And he said he's not the same Mims anymore, which to be fair, it's
He's not wrong.
got a point. He's not the same. And he's saying it's not the same Pope either, which was interesting. Although the Pope, I must say, it was quite tight fitting that top. I don't know if it was deliberate, but it felt like if he had tensed up, they wouldn't have had any sleeves. Yeah. He said he wasn't the same as Pope. Yeah. And then he said that Pope wasn't on Mims's level and not to challenge him for his championship. Really, that's what he said.
That's like a red rag to a bull.
I mean, is Mims trying to do that because he generally thinks he can beat the Pope, or is he trying to basically move him away because he doesn't want to wrestle the Pope? That's the
That
question.
very valid point.
It is a very well. We won't know because that was the end of Power this week. That's how it finished. Next week, though, we do know it's Idol and Daisy Kill in
Hmm.
the, and it's also Alex Taylor and Luke Curtis for
Ooh,
the
okay.
Alex's championship. Forgive me, I can't, junior heavyweight championship.
Mhm.
That is what is this. That was very. I like this week. I think 4 matches actually on Power is the fit for Roku.
Yeah, definitely. There wasn't too much filler in between. The matches were just long enough. I mean, I might have liked to see a couple of them go a little bit longer, but
Yeah, fair, fair. Yeah.
um, no, this was good, and I got to watch it this week,
Well, I was
which
going to
is
say the main
yeah.
thing is you got to see it. That was the main thing. No word yet on the free stuff coming over to the UK if it's going to be
It's
on there.
October it's coming.
It is October. There was going to get some more information coming soon, they said. So I was waiting to see, because is it the Sports Network or something it's on, or the Sports Channel or
Oh,
something?
I have no idea.
But anyway, I want to find out. Hopefully, we get to know a bit more about what channels are coming. I know PGA Golf's coming over
Oh, great.
for the attention of absolutely nobody. They'll see it. So yeah, hopefully we'll get to know more information about that. But anyway, Fee, you've been fresh, say fresh off your towels and tribulations with
I'm
Brett.
still going for a nap after this before we do our other one tonight.
Literally a hour nap. Well, and Fee put it out nicely because in a few hours, by the time this goes out, pretty much, or maybe a bit sooner, we're going to be sitting down with one half of the Crockett Cup 2025 winners. Oh, Odison will be
I'm
joined,
really excited for this one.
and I'll be oohing later
I
on.
need to be awake and on the ball for that.
I'm going to have another milky latte for that. But yes, Odison will be joining us. But Fee, is it done for you this week, or have you got more that you've still got
I
going on?
have a weekend off. I'm really excited to have a weekend off, actually. So, no wrestling this weekend. Back at it next week with a huge show with Premier British Wrestling in Larbour at the Dobie Hall next Friday, the 26th of September. Ringsideworld.co.uk for your tickets. And then basically, I've got something every week for the next 6 weeks or something like that. So, I've got a lot coming up. But I am very grateful to have a weekend off.
Think you need it after this one, after the last few days with the Hitman, Bret Hart. Well, speaking of
Living
show,
the dream.
living the dream, well, living the dream, yeah, yeah. Speaking of shows, that brings me to Sunday.
Ooh, that's exciting.
It has come around, hasn't it? It is time again for us and Ignite to team up for Buckle Up Free. No tickets left, so tough. We're not putting
Well
it.
done. Congrats, guys. That's cool.
So tough if you want to come. You'll have to come to Curtain Call on November the 23rd instead. Come to Curtain. Tickets
Get
are
that
already,
plug in there.
yeah, get that plug in because tickets are already being sold already ahead of that time. And yeah, there's about 30 or 40 gone already. So there's
Good
November's
job.
shaping up to end the year on a high with Ignite. And coming up on the channel, I want to thank actually Marek Brave from the Black and the Brave Wrestling Academy, Seth Rollins' Wrestling Academy. That
Nice.
is. We just had a chat with him yesterday. You'll see that in a couple of weeks. Manny Lemons' interview ahead of his big one against Brian Idol this evening in NWA New Mexico. Hard
Hmm.
reset for the Route 66 Championship. Is
I
that?
like that it's called that.
And then I just had a surprising one. So content creators, it's always great to do some collaborations with them. And we've probably got one of the biggest wrestling streamers coming on. And literally, I'm recording tomorrow. It's happened today by chance. For those of you that watch reactions on platforms, you will know the content creator called Wheezy Blonde, and she has got a lot of millions and millions of views. And anyway, I'm going to be sitting down with young Wheezy tomorrow, Friday at time of recording. Be out in a couple of weeks, so you'll get to see that as well. I'll be talking to Brian Hebner next week as well, which is going to be a fun show to
Reffing
do.
It Up's a good podcast.
Reffing Up is a good podcast. He's a part of that, along with Jimmy Corderas, who we've had on previously as well. Big pay-per-view weekend or PLE weekend for you wrestling fans as well. You've got All Out first, and then following All Out straight away, you got WrestlePalooza. So I've got two shows to review before I go and do my show on Sunday. So you know
Busy, busy, busy.
the amount of sleep I'll be getting will be zero over this coming weekend. But it's a busy weekend nevertheless. We wouldn't have it any other way. But Fiona, are we back next week for some more power?
That's very dependent on whether Power wants to let me watch it. If it does, then yes, absolutely.
So in that case, everyone, follow us at HTT Buckle on X, HTT Buckle on YouTube, HTT Buckle on Blue Sky, hitting the Turnbuckle podcast on all other social media platforms. If you're an NWA fan, watch out for Gannon Jones Jr.'s interview coming next week and be back for our power review next week with any luck. But until then, anybody, buckle down. Fiona's going for a sleep. I'm going to edit this. Till then, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and goodbye.